Yo, what is going on, guys? We are back today for another video, and this one's pretty exciting. This is going to be my first showcase for the brand new Spider-Man Pavitr. So this dude is very, very powerful. Before we get into the gameplay, which I have some cool stuff planned, some Realm of Legends initial gameplay, and then some of the CCP testing map, fighting all the big bad cosmic champions such as Thanos, DarkPhoenix, Serpent, and even Maestro. So be on the lookout for that. Probably have some timestamps throughout the video too if you want to skip ahead. But we're going to talk about this guy a little bit, his abilities, and just to help you get a better understanding. One of the first things actually that really threw me off with this character is yesterday with the update, when I was doing the testing, there was a couple of things. The first thing was that actually on my CCP beta account, my FPS had been reset to 30. And this guy has some weird, like, kind of funky animations. It's like Spider-Verse and pixelated when you're using him, and it just feels a little weird. His combos take a little bit of getting used to as well. So doing that in 30 FPS, like, no wonder I was having some difficulty at first. But then I learned, and then when I switched to 60, everything was just, seamless and smooth by that point. Then the other thing was that right when I was starting to test this guy, I got logged out of my account. It says, you've been logged in on another device. That was Kabam doing some stuff. Not me getting hacked or something, which was my initial thought. But yeah, it was just a bit of a mess. But I was able to get it sorted and start getting some gameplay. So let's go ahead and talk about this guy's abilities a little bit. Also have his attributes pulled up to the side here, which we can go ahead and pull up. So we can see his attributes. So he's got a 2.5 survivability, 4.5 damage. So this is more damage than Dracula. And yeah, I would say he has more damage than Dracula. More than 0.5 though. I would say he has like 2.5 or at least 1.5 more damage. Ease of use, 1.5. He can be a little tricky. He's actually like the first trap-based character that I like. And I feel like it makes sense too with him, the way it all flows together. Utility 3.5. I'd maybe give him a 4. I feel like the utility is a little understated. And then defender strength a 3. So this guy is going to be an annoying defender. He does have evade that can be really nice as an attacker and save you. It has saved me a few times, but it's probably going to be pretty dang annoying on defense. And then one other big thing to note is his prestige is really high. It's 33,970 as a fully maxed out 7 rank 4. To put that into perspective, Lizard, a fellow brand new champion, is only clocking in at 33,220. So 220 versus 970. That's 750 difference in prestige points. That is fat. That is a big difference. So yeah, just wanted to point that out. Alright, let's talk about some of his actual abilities, though. So, the Awakened ability. The first bullet point, each buff on the opponent reduces the duration of inexorable and unstoppable effects. This can be nice against, like, Serpent with the inexorable. Personal energy vulnerabilities are paused during Pavitr's special attacks and for 5 seconds after each level of special. Not the biggest deal, but it's nice. And then for this the big bullet point, though. So, I would say that he doesn't really need the SIGs. Getting him to SIG 200 is not going to be that important, but getting him awakened, just awakened, SIG level 1, is going to be a very, 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 very big deal. Okay, emphasizing that because if you don't have him awakened, you're not going to be able to take down the likes of DarkPhoenix and Serpent nearly as well, like what you see in the deep dive gameplay, and what you'll see today. It's not going to be replicatable without this SIG. And I'll explain why. But basically, for every 25% of the opponent's missing health, Pavitr's marked passive gains 100% base potency, even if already active. Now, why that's important is because on his special 1, he applies marked passive for only 35%. So, like Hercules, DarkPhoenix, their immortality trigger thing, cheat death, is at a base level 100%. So this is only 35%. So unduped, 35%, that's like 1/3 of the time. Maybe. Right? Serpent, on the other hand, would be even less because his death immunity trigger rate is 125%. It's above 100%, which is a lot of fun. So, yeah, you really need to be awakened. Because then if you have them below, let's say, 50%, for example, then you're getting that SIG ability trigger twice. So it's for each 25% of the opponent's missing health. So if he's down to 75%, that's 100% increased potency. 35% would jump to, I believe, 70%. And then if it's another 25%, so they're at 50% health, that's going to jump, another 35%, getting you over 100%, guaranteeing you cancel out everyone essentially except Serpent. Still be a chance. But if you get Serpent below 25% and you're awakened, then it should be guaranteed to kill him and his immortality. I'm going to show you an example of when it's over 100% and it fails in this very video. So that's a little bit why the awakening ability is important, mainly for that marked. For just about everything else, the awakening ability is not that important if you're not fighting champions that you need to cheat their death on, honestly. And then, so you want to be throwing lots and lots of these special ones. You're going to have that. You don't have to worry. Like, throwing special ones is a big part of his loop. And then you build up with multiple special ones, playing around the traps, and then you get off the big special 2. So during this attack, Pavitr gains 1500 attack rating for each personal fury. You can build those up. And then the final hit consumes all but 5 spider seals on the opponent to deal a burst of 8000 energy damage. Base potency is increased by 10% for each buff consumed. So if you do this properly and you get the maximum detonation of 15, you also get like a crazy big damage multiplier as well, which is crazy. Because at 15 plus, activating special attack grants 1100 Fury passive for 45 seconds. Yeah, those help too. There's like just so much in this kit. Like, I could spend 20 minutes reading this and trying to help you understand. It's a lot, but instead of doing all that, we're just going to get to the gameplay, and then I'll be able to explain it easier with some visual effects. One thing that is kind of annoying is that this line right here. Being Spider-Man is so easy that Pavitr does not need to benefit from the Mystic Dispersion Mastery. And there's no, like, extra thing. For each rank in Mystic Dispersion, you get this or that. Nope. Nothing. Which, champions need to respect our investment into masteries. And it's really annoying when they don't. The other thing here is Pavitr can toggle whether he starts to run after idling by double tapping blocks when he's heavy. I hate this. I absolutely despise these types of abilities. I wish there was an on or an off switch for this even in his kit, because I'm constantly accidentally triggering this, and it's so annoying because, like, it's just part of my battle routine when I'm doing stuff. Like, I'm tapping my screen to kill time, and how many taps I get in helps me, like, keep track of when I can get my next intercept and when animations end and that kind of thing. Like, so, I hate those types of abilities. But alright, that's enough talking. Let's go ahead and dive straight into the gameplay. Alrighty guys, so jumping into some bog standard Winter Soldier and Captain Marvel in Realm of Legends. Like, after my first couple runs, I was clocking in like a minute 30, like going very, very slow. But then I started to get his playstyle down, and it's all about the 3 traps that are on the screen. So there's one on your wall, one like right in the middle, and one on the opponent's wall. And you just want to keep pushing them into those webs, and ideally trigger the web and then use a special attack, specifically the special one, to push them into it, and it automatically refreshes the web. So right here you're gonna see he triggers the web, and then it puts it on cooldown, but my special brings it back, and boom. Now we've thrown our specials, we have him exactly where we want him. He's at 17 of those buffs. At this point, I want to use my heavy attack, get a little bit of power steal cooking up, and now I just want to rip a fat special too. But what I'm going to do first is sidestep into it. That's going to apply those vulnerabilities, and then boom, he's dead. He's dead. So, just looking at it, it looks kind of easy, but it definitely takes some getting used to get a run like that and to set it all up. So that was 50 seconds. That was one of my best Winter Soldier kills. Pretty solid. And again, it's, just getting off about 3 special ones with him in the trap. You can use I like to start the fight with the heavy because that applies the power steal passive. So, and then you just want to get that on cooldown as quickly as you can. So by this point, you get it off again. I just dropped the heavy, get a little power steal. Here we have 2 of the vulnerabilities. Right now he's marked, so if this was a Serpent or something, we'd bypass that extra life, and we built up enough charges. And then boom, here we sidestep back into the trap. He's at 20, and then you can see the big fat detonation of 264,000 damage. Lights out for Winter Soldier. You can see his health just went from, what was he at there? 52%. Half of his health is gone. So that's Pavitr against Rumble Legend Winter Soldier. 50 seconds. Not bad. Not bad. That's kind of roughly the playstyle. And what I like about him is, you know, in that fight, I like to start each fight triggering the middle web, because they basically start on it. So you might as well, you know. But then from that point, you can choose to stay in the middle of the map or kind of push the opponent into the corner. You know, depending on the matchup, it could be different. Let's see what I do in this one. Do I stay around the middle, or do I start to push her to her side? Looks like I'm going to push her to her side, which is not a bad idea. So boom, here we're going to push her into the web, and then boom, sidestep into the special one that applies the vulnerability, pushes her into the web, builds up multiple of our buffs. That's exactly what we want. Boom, push her into the web, get her out, push her back in with the special attack. Boom, she's up to 15 charges. 16, now we just need to push her back, get a little power steal cooking up, and then get ready for the special 2 and get a sidestep. I'm using another heavy here just to kind of push her into her wall. There I ate a special, but here we rip our special 2 and push her into the web with it. 20 charges and she's dead. And you can see that was 49 seconds, so 1 second quicker than Winter Soldier. And the damage burst right there was 322,000 with some class advantage. Getting that up over 300k, 49 seconds. So this is, you know, this loop is easily attainable in under 1 minute. So I think he's absolutely going to be a very fast Battlegrounds nuke-esque champ. Let's just watch that special 2 one more time, because it's so satisfying. The animations on this guy are incredible as well. Alright, so that's Realm of Legends. Now let's go ahead and jump to the testing map. So I'm going to be mainly showcasing four of the biggest cosmics in the game. Maestro, Serpent, DarkPhoenix, and Thanos. Those are the matchups that you guys care about. How is he in these really meta matchups? And I'm going to show you. So start this fight against Maestro. Immediately go for the heavy, just because that's how you want to be fighting against Maestro. And so here, pushing him into his corner, into that web. And then boom, special 1. Alright. Off to a good start. This is essentially how you want to be starting most fights. Push him into that web. Right. Bait the special attack out. Push him back into the web. Boom. Push him back into the web with the special attack 1. And now I'm ready for my special 2. If I get to my special 2 and drop it, he's dead. Unfortunately, we are glancing at this point, but that is alright. Here, I end up baiting the special 2 as well, which I didn't really intend to, but it's alright. And then here I do end up taking a little bit of cosmic radiation damage, which is unfortunate, but he's dead. So, equal ranks, rank 4 Pavitr versus rank 4 Maestro, down in 48 seconds. And I did take a little bit of that cosmic radiation damage towards the end of the fight, but still, finishing above 90%, 48 seconds is pretty good. That was my very first try against Maestro as well. Not mad at it. Definitely not mad at it. Alright, now let's go fight the big bad DarkPhoenix. So I'm going to show you guys 2 different fights on DarkPhoenix here. The first one, she throws a special 1. In the next one, she doesn't throw a single special attack. Okay, so she's going to show you the difference, because you never know when you're fighting DarkPhoenix, man. You can be trying your damnedest, and she'll just still end up throwing a special 1 sometimes, you know? So, right there. She just threw that special 1. I did not want her to throw that, but whatever. I'm going to be taking some Noble Flame damage now, and that's alright. I want to show you guys one fight with that, and then one fight where I don't let her throw anything. And you can see, man, the power control on this guy is phenomenal. It's really, really good. So at this point, dude, she's dead. She's dead. Now she's below 50% as well. Put the little power steal on her and throw the special 2. And dude, she's just dead. She's guaranteed dead here. Because with the awakened ability, you know, those marked passive was increased by over 200% because she was below the 50% health threshold. That's very important. That's why just having that awakened ability is important. If we weren't awakened there, that wouldn't have killed her. Yeah, probably not. There's a chance, but there's no guarantee. So, alright, this fight, I think we're going to play a little bit more around that middle trap. Alright, get off the power steal. It's good to push her through the trap with that with an active trap with that heavy. I think it like makes the power steal better or something. Man, like I said, there's so many abilities in this guy's kit. Like, I was just focusing on learning him and mastering his ideal loops. Like, there's still so many little intricacies that think I know, but like I'm still not 1,000,000% sure about, you know. But boom, our power steal just went on cooldown there, so boom, get it off again. And then here we're gonna go for the special 2, and again, she's dead here. She is just absolutely guaranteed death. Boom, over 200k. And that time she did not throw off the special 1, so we're finishing with 93% health. This one was also like a second faster, 45 seconds for DarkPhoenix. In like a battleground scenario, you're coming out with over 90% health. And she didn't even throw a single special. Didn't have to deal with a single special attack. That's how good the power control is on Pavitr here. Alright, now I'm going to show you 2 Thanos matchups as well. Because I had like two pretty good fights on this first Thanos, and I think they're different enough that I want to showcase both. So here we had a little bit of a passive AI at the start. He just didn't want to run on that web. So start of this fight, you see I haven't even hit him yet. And you know, that's honestly not a bad idea against Thanos, because you know Thanos is the type of champ that he's really annoying because you hit him too much and he's going to start to go unstoppable. And the thing about Pavitr is that he has 2-hit mediums in his combo. So you know there's more hits. So you're triggering more hits for Thanos is unstoppable, which is not exactly what you want. So here I think in the next Thanos fight I play more on his wall, but on this fight you see I'm just completely hovering around this middle web, and right there our evade counter totally saved my bacon, which was really nice. So here, boom, pushing through that web, drop the special 2, and guys, guess what? Like, this is a Thanos Battlegrounds fight. He's at 60%. You know, he's such a stall. The fight's over. This man is dead. Boom. Dead. Like, I didn't know Pavitr had that dog in him like that. Like, I thought we were going to be triggering Thanos' protection or something, you know, but no. 60% health. Eviscerated. And again, like, in a matchup like that, unduped Pavitr is going to be just fine. Because there's no immortality, death immunity, BS that you need to skip against Thanos. So, unawakened, the result would essentially be the same in that matchup when it comes to the mark stuff. You know, irrelevant against Thanos. Only relevant in champs that cheat death. So, here it looks like I am kind of playing the middle web again. Am I going to push him to the other side? Maybe? Or maybe I'm just playing the middle web again. I don't know. Let's see here. Middle web is kind of nice to play around against Thanos. Yeah, push him through with the special 1. Maybe we start to push to the other side now. No, it's just it's so many hits to push Thanos to the other side that by the time you do that, like, you're probably going to trigger his unstoppable. So right there I triggered it just to get the panic debuff, just to heal from. So I did that kind of on purpose. I'm going to be able to finish this fight with a little bit more health, I think, than the other fight because of that. Right there, get a little bit more power steal cooking up. Right here, we're at our 20 charges, and I just ripped this. I don't even bother pushing him through the web, and he's dead. The final hit triggered his unstoppable there, but he still died. And so that was 57 seconds. Dude. That's insane. The stall champ dying in under a minute. Like, Pavitr does not care. Like, you can see, man. Let's go back to that special 2 really quick. Look at this. 58% health, and then boom, 292,000 burst. His health bar is just gone. Thanos is dead. Alright, so now we're going to get into Serpent, but here I wanted to show you. So, Serpent is at... So we push him below 50% health here. So we should be having our 35% marked, plus another 35%. So that's 70%, plus now another 35% on top of that, bringing us to around 105%. But remember, Serpent's death immunity trigger is 125%. So watch what happens. He doesn't die. And here I was like confused. This was on one of my more early Serpent runs, and I'm like, huh? Huh? Why the heck did this guy not die? I'm pausing, like trying to figure it out. Watch it again. You can see. It's at the time of the final hit here. So he was already below 50%. But again, because of his increased ability accuracy, it's not quite guaranteed. It's a good chance. 105% on 125%. That's good odds. But it's far from being guaranteed. So we're going to really put Pavitr to the test here. And we're going to run the entire Serpent Gauntlet here. Start with the first Serpent, which is like a Battlegrounds health pool. Then the next Serpent would be essentially punching up. And then the final Serpent is like a Serpent Big War Boss, 1.5 million health. So let's see how Pavitr does. So in a matchup like this now, you know, I'm able to just combo him a bunch. The inexorable is a little bit annoying. But if I want to push him to his end, I can a lot easier. Because I don't have to worry like I did against Thanos. But yeah, it looks like we're still going to be playing around the middle web a little bit. I still highly recommend, you know, just baiting out Serpent's special 1 with Pavitr. It's not a bad idea to get the fear debuff on you, just topping off your willpower healing. In this matchup, you're able to finish very healthy because of that fear debuff. So, you know, that is nice. But at the same time, the power control is so good that you don't even really need to be baiting out that many special attacks against Serpent. So here I'm going to apply a little power steal to him and then rip my fat special. So like even if he was at 3 bars here, I'd be chilling. And you can see right there, I just didn't have enough damage to kill, but then do a combo, and he's down. So that totally works too, because by that point in the fight, if we're triggering the death immunity when he's already below 25%, at that point, it's guaranteed. The mark passive is guaranteed to bypass the death immunity. So you can totally do that. That's a strat as well. Although it is a lot more satisfying to just kill him in one big hit, you know, that of course, that's way more satisfying, absolutely. So it looks like this fight, we're going to play more to his wall now, and I really like that I can just like mix it up, you know, I can play more on the middle web, in the middle of the screen, or I can play more on the opponent's wall. And so here, you got to be careful. I was getting a little cocky because the neutralize had turned off his true focus, so I was able to dex, but I just totally dexed too early. Got a little overzealous there on that one. So here I'm going to purposefully bait the special 1. You can see we're evading as well. So if you do screw up against Serpent, because you're neutralizing that true focus, you're able to just evade. Your evade triggers can save you, which is really nice. So right there we do about a 200k burst. Took off a lot of his health, but of course it's not enough to kill. So we're just going to have to build back and do it again. Build up another burst. So here we're going to throw that special 1 and get him above, right, almost at 15 charges. There we go. Now he's at 15. Now we can throw our heavy attack, get some more power steal cooking up as well. Bait another special, get some more of that fear debuff. You can see I screwed up earlier and I took a combo, but look at my health now. We're back up, man. And so now we drop this special. He's guaranteed dead. That was over 300k right there as well. You can see, boom. 338,000, and we healed up to 99%. So, like, Serpent is a very safe matchup for those two reasons I mentioned. You know, he counters essentially almost everything Serpent has in his kit, and he can willpower heal the fear if you slip up, and he can evade if you slip up. Just having your back with those evades, super duper nice. On offense. On defense, again, that's going to be a pain in the ass to deal with, him evading. So the minute 21, punching up against Serpents. Not bad. Not bad. Alright, now we get to almost 1.5 million health Serpent. This is like a big bad war boss level Serpent. So let's see how Pavitr deals with this. A really big health pool Serpent. We've seen him in short fights. We've seen him now in a more of a medium fight. Let's see in a long fight. So, same exact rotation, playing the webs, pushing him into them with the special 1, using our heavy attacks to push him in as well, get that power steal cooking up. I really love the power steal. Really love that. You know, it's one of my favorite things about Stark Spidey. So it looks like a little homage was paid to Stark Spidey with this guy in that area, which is cool. Which is very cool. You know, after having, like, the first, I would say, 15 to 20 minutes playing this guy, just not liking it at all. But I'd say after, like, the first half an hour, and once I switched on 60 FPS, man, then I started to like him. So here, boom, push him into the trap with the power steal. He comes out of the trap, then push him back into the trap with the special 2. Boom, nuke off 200k damage right there. Not too shabby, not too shabby. Alright. Pushing him back, getting him on his wall. Getting a little power steal action cooking up. Alright. And here, look at that. It's another cool thing. Can freely dex. And then what happened there was I went to punish, and I was going to get hit. So Pavitr evaded for me. Saved me. So you're able to deck Serpent specials, and that evade. I can't tell you how many times it saved my bacon in these 3 fights, and just previous practice fights before these 3. Like, Pavitr's a beast, man. That evade is not to be underestimated. So boom, special 2, push him into the web. We got 5 energy balls, 3 furies, boom, 313,000 damage. Not bad. So that was burst number 2. Looks like we're gonna need 3 bursts to kill this really big serpent here. Boom, another special 1. Throw him back into the webs. Rebuild up. Alright. Then here, we're gonna essentially just do it again. Alright, boom, push him up to 16, and then about to be 18 of our spider seal. Boom, up to 20 now. Alright, now all I have to do at this point is get back to my special 2, which I am about to do. I'm gonna heavy him as well. Get a little power steal. Boom, there's our special 2. Rip this, and this should be Serpent guaranteed dead. Yup. Another 300,000 burst. So that's rank 4 Pavitr fighting an almost 1.5 million health Serpent and doing it in 2 minutes, 22 seconds, 3 rotations of that burst damage. And that's it, man. That's it. The entire Serpent Gauntlet ran, and we were coming out of there with full health. Full health. We're basically unscratched after fighting 3 big boy serpents. I think that's just a testament to how powerful this guy is. He counters the big 3, the big 4 cosmic champions, and like he does it with ease. Like, it doesn't even feel that difficult. Once you learn him, once you get a good handle on the web playstyle, it's honestly pretty easy. Like, I don't think he's that difficult of a champ, actually, once you learn. He's difficult at first and takes some getting used to, but once you learn it, once you get it down, like it's pretty simple. And dude, it took me like 2 hours of playtesting him. Pretty locked in on those 2 hours, but maybe 2.5. And I got him down. I feel like I got him down. So, yeah, that's Pavitr. He's insanely powerful. I think he immediately is going to be in the argument for one of the best mystics in the game. Just point blank, period. The fact that he can take the top 3 cosmic dogs just immediately puts him up there right alongside with Nico. I think that's just a fact. I think he's definitely going to end up in the highest tier on the tier list. Like, there's no other way around it. He's counters the big cosmic champs easily, like Nico, and he seems like he could be a pretty good defender. Now, that's where it's going to come down to between him and Nico. Who's the better defender and who's the better attacker? It's very early right now, but I would say Nico's the slightly better defender. But I haven't really fought against this guy at all yet, so I don't know. I'm just my guess. But I feel like Pavitr might turn out as a slightly stronger attacker, actually. Because, like, man, once you get those webs down, like, once you get the battlefield control, it's crazy, dude. And you're just throwing specials, you're power stealing, and then they're dead. All of a sudden, they're just dead. There goes 60% health of a Deathless Thanos. No protection, just dead. It's crazy. So, yeah, guys, that's all the gameplay that I got for you. If you want to see another video on this guy, CCP or otherwise, just drop a comment. I actually had a lot of fun playing him. I do really enjoy the play style, actually, with the webs. The first trap character like I enjoy. I feel like it makes sense with him as well, with the webs. Like, I think this is a very well-designed Spider-Man. He feels like a Spider-Man. The web traps, like, it just feels right. You know, like, when they tried to buff OG Spider-Man, it's just, I think that was a big miss. But this, the web traps, I like it. I like it a lot, actually. It feels good to be setting these web traps, using them. I don't know. I was very skeptical at first, but after trying it myself, I had a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. So yeah, that's my honest opinion, feedback, what I think about the champion after playing him yesterday. Last night I played him for like probably about three total hours or so. Totally forgot to text back my girlfriend, and I was like, oh, I thought I responded to you. I was just locked in playing Pavitr. But yeah, that's a wrap it for this video, guys. I hope you did enjoy it. Drop a thumbs up if so. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content. Thank you so much for watching. All love and support. Don't forget about my creator code LAG as well. Much love. Peace.